We love a good power flex, and the guys who bring it. And of course, you won't find more overpowered characters anywhere other than an isekai anime. 2024 is nearing the end, and it's about time to look at some of the most overpowered main characters this year had in store for us. Number 10. I Parry Everything. Isekai names tend to give you the plot before you even watch, and this one is no different. I Parry Everything is an anime about a clueless lughead named Noor, who can, well, parry everything. The kingdom's going through some stuff right now, and they need the help of some great hero to save them. All Noor has to do is convince them that it's him. People don't think that parrying is a good skill, but when I say he can parry anything, I do mean anything. If it's swords, numbers don't matter. Throw 1,000 at him and it's all parried. Dragon claws, parried. Area of effect attacks, poison, parried. This man can redirect anything that comes his way with an invincible sword by his side. This anime gives us something you don't find often. Genuine struggles based on the world they live in. Noor is strong, but not in a conventional way. He's a goofy character and that's fun, but it's also a case of a man who no one takes seriously. Desperate for some identity, something to latch onto to make him master, and that's an adventurer. This anime does a lot to explore this, has great fight scenes, and a banging soundtrack. What more do you need? Number 9. Remonster.
女の子のくすぐったそうな表情っていいね。じゃあ後方支援部隊のメスゴブリンを3ゴブほど。ありがとうございます。
We've all seen the reincarnating hero thing, but what about the reincarnating hero who's already been reincarnated? That is Remonster, starring Ro, our goblin main character who's got basic leadership skills, a bit of a harem, and the ability to take the powers of those he eats. Ro started off as a weakling, but because he's the only one with a brain cell, he's led his tribe to greatness, and the kick to his strength is that it all depends on his next meal. In less than 1 year, he's gone from a level 1 goon to a level 100 mob boss in this new world, and he won't stop anytime soon. If you like a simple, easy-to-follow story, decent animation, and have a bit of a breeding fetish, then this anime is for you. The character's gradual work in building an actual society out of these goblins is pretty fun to watch, and does a lot to make them endearing considering the whole rating thing. Its Pokemon-esque style of evolution is a neat concept, further helped by an interesting world and an experienced reincarnator. Overall, a pretty good watch. Number 8. My instant death ability is so powerful.
第1話で死ぬのは勇者とネクロマンサーらしいよ。
勇者って1話で死んじゃっていいものなの?
You know, the names of these anime are making my job pretty reductive. My instant death ability is so powerful is about high school student Yugiri Takano finding himself and his new class in a world with some new powers. Except for Yugiri, which is thanks to an ill-timed nap. Don't worry though, because he has the innate power to kill people instantly. Look guys, it's hard to stretch this out. It's truly just the intended purpose of all overpowered abilities given its simplest form. There's no punchline, he can't be beaten, and literally anyone who tries fails, well, fatally. I don't know what else you could call it besides overpowered. The main character has the depth of a kiddie pool, and honestly the same can be said for the whole plot. It's garbage, but the fun kind. It's that just on the cusp of not being expired bread you find outside the grocery dump. A pleasant surprise. The animation's decent, the character designs work for what it wants, and if you just want to watch more isekai, then more power to ya, because you're literally the target audience for this one. Number 7. Chillin in another world with level 2 super cheat powers. It's...
Lisu?
旦那様は元の世界に帰ってしまわれるのですか?
It's a classic plot point to have a king summon heroes from another world because the old shit and his people are too incompetent. But what if it happens to be a choosy bastard? Philo was unwillingly brought to this world and just wants to chill, but the king ain't having it. So he makes it his personal goal to kill the guy, though for him it's a slight inconvenience because my man is busted. After getting to level 2, his stats go infinite, and managed to get every broken ability you could possibly imagine. He once beat up a Jin who was immune to non-magical damage by pummeling her to pieces and reversing time to heal a wound on his waifu. A little overkill, if you ask me. Despite his flexes, the anime Chillin in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers is more of a slice of life with a dude just hanging around with his plethora of waifus. The main character is a decent guy and pretty likable, which is what you want your hero to be. The animation's decent, the soundtrack has a nice rhythm to it, and the character designs are top-notch, fitting with the world around and adding a lot of personality to the characters. Number 6. The wrong way to use healing magic.
君の言った通りだ。ここはおそらく。
ウキウキしてる。全員
You know that old saying, be careful what you wish for? Well, the anime The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic is a pretty clear example of why. High schooler Kenosato wanted the extraordinary, and he got it by transporting to a magical world. Only life's never nice, so he got the baby magic. Healing. Turns out Kenosato can do a lot with it, like regeneration, as well as enhancing his muscles and body to give him super strength and unbelievable endurance. The guy also made a healing punch just so he could go to town and not worry about killing them. In a short period of time, Ken has transformed from a class clown to the equal of one of the deadliest characters in anime. While initially cliche, the anime's remarkable characters make up for it. They're funny, charming, have a lot of depth. Each of them has a role to play, and it's nice to see an anime where the side characters actually have an opportunity to shine. The designs are nice, the animations are decent for a fighting anime, and the story is genuinely interesting to follow. It also provides one of the most insightful looks into healing magic as a whole. Seriously, give this one a shot. Number 5. Mashal.
本気でやれば5分ですよ。こんなもの。さあ、帰ってシュークリーム食べよう。いいわ、シュークリーム。
In a world of wizards and wonders and magic, one Chad out there understands the power and importance of gains. Forget those prissy spells, it's all about abs, abs, and abs. Mashal is about Mash Bernadette wanting to live the quiet life obsessing over training in peace. But society won't let him. So now he has to become a visionary to get people to chill out, and that starts by going to a magic school. Speaking of, there's no greater evidence of this man's flexes than in the entrance exam. He has no fancy gimmick, just pure strength, as he runs on water and lifts boulders with his thumb. Hell, the guy solved a deadly maze by charging through it. Simple, but effective. Quality parody anime have been few and far between, so Mashal feels like a breath of fresh air. The world these guys inhabit is pretty fascinating and shows a creator who spent more than 10 minutes on world building. The character designs are great, especially Mash's deadpan expression. The humor is the best part, and frankly, it's why I recommend this anime for you guys. So give it a watch. Number 4. The strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army was a human.
いつからそこに。
殺さないでください。私は何も見てません。どうか命だけは。
Have you ever heard the line wolf in sheep's clothing? Well, this is a sheep in wolf's clothing. The strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army was a human, another gem of a name, is about Ike, a loyal member of the Demon King and one of his most powerful subjects. Turns out he's also a Japanese dude who got a little trip to this place thanks to Truck-kun and friends. Now Ike's one of the top dogs of the army, leading the Immortal Brigade, conjuring castles with ease, and pushing back armies nearly single-handedly. And most importantly, he has a riz powerful enough for a super harem. Despite the main character's abilities, he's not boringly overpowered. Like all the characters, he has strengths and weaknesses, which makes the battles more interesting. The setting is pretty fun and a classic in the genre. The character designs and animations are top-notch, and the human-demon interaction has some pretty good depth that gives the anime a lot of layers to unpack. Number 3. Wistoria, Wand and Sword. It's your classic story of two friends separated by class. One's a magical prodigy and the other can deadlift with the best of them. Wistoria, Wand and Sword is about little old Will Sefford and his journey to prove you don't need magic or powers when you've got gumption, a metal stick, and the ungodly strength that only an anime twin could wield. I mean, the guy managed to be the only kid to ever surpass magic with brawn, dodge like 1,000 firebolts with ease, and take down Magia Vonder, a teacher in his school, a fantasy shared by many. The guy has some literal strength to keep him in the race. This anime's a fun spin on the magic school genre, and they actually put in the time and effort to explain it and the world around them, which really helps with the investment. The soundtrack has that blend of classic RPG feel to it, and the art style is easy on the eyes. The most impressive thing, though, is the animation. Those animators must have sacrificed their hands in making this masterpiece, and you better give it the love it deserves by watching it. Number 2. Failure Frame. Next up, we'll be looking at a hero who defies isekai genres and tropes by discarding all that lovey-dovey, showboaty power, and instead gets down and dirty.
字幕はなだからさっき生まれたばかりのお前らとの因縁もここでしまいだ黒竜騎士団
Failure Frame is an anime about Toka Mimori and how God actually hates him. He didn't get a grand and explosive power, so he was cast aside. But it turns out he was strong, blah blah blah, you know the drill. Instead, let's look at what his powers can do, and there's no better example than in his fight against humanity's strongest. Toka has status spells that work instantly and lethally, wiping out armies if he times it right, and that's exactly what he did here. Waiting for their back to turn, he unleashes a lethal poison that their most powerful warrior could only last a few minutes against. Then he uses that to go about and paralyze the rest of them to their falling death. Brutal. This is one of the better protag-kun getting revenge stories out there in isekai, and that's a very large category. Toka is the highlight since his way of fighting and thinking is so different from most protagonists. The story pacing, characters, and world building are top-notch, and an example for other isekai anime to follow. Number 1. Solo Leveling.
勘のいい野郎だ好き隠密もちろん僕がこれを使えるということ誰も知らないがねなぜなら
Finally, we reached it. The GOAT. The anime that everyone's been waiting for, and it certainly lives up to the hype. Solo Leveling is about Sung Jin-woo and his rise to abs and chaddom. After a little skirmish with a very creepy statue, Jin-woo now has an RPG UI to help him evolve and grow stronger as he goes through one crazy dungeon after another. That's also where we see the sheer badassery he can apply. The near instantaneous progress he's had after his level up is probably some of the fastest and most impressive of any isekai out there. My man has become a necromancer assassin, and he's beaten some creatures that not even the top guys in the country could handle. He can raise armies of the dead, move with lightning speed, and has his own personal shopping system. All the works. The art direction is fantastic. The backgrounds are colorful and gorgeous, the character designs are simple yet pretty exquisite, and the animation is godly. The deeper story taking place as Jin-woo explores these dungeons and his power sets up a thrilling mystery, and it's for all these reasons and more that I put this in the number 1 spot. And thank the gods, we only have to wait till January for another season. And there you have it, the best anime with OP main characters of 2024 so far. Take a look at this video if you want to hang around some more, and don't forget to share what you want to see next. Help us out so we can make better videos for you guys. See you on the next one.